Since 1970, a local nonprofit committed to working with our families, communities, and state to establish, maintain, and enhance a nurturing and safe environment for children. The organization and how they are changing lives in the community is coming up next on Polk Place. Welcome to Polk Place. I'm Tina Mann, your host, and joining me in the studio today are Maria Matthews, the Communications Specialist with Youth and Family Alternatives.
Thank you.
And Joseph Towns, the Outreach Specialist at Youth and Family Alternatives.
Yes, thank you. How you doing?
I'm excited to have you guys here today. I know we were discussing a little bit about the fact that I have adopted kids, so any programs that help youth, I'm always interested in learning about. So why don't you tell me a little bit about what Youth and Family Alternatives is and what you guys do?
Our organization helps families and children in approximately 11 counties throughout Florida. We have 3 youth shelters in Pasco, Hernando, and in Polk County. The work that we do within the counties coincides with a lot of the work that we handle for Department of Children and Families, fins through the school boards, and as well as the outreach that Joseph Towns does for the George Harris Youth Shelter here in Bartow. He goes out in the community and he reaches homeless and youth who are at risk, who need a place to stay. So we do many things, including those things that I mentioned, but not just limited to those things in Florida.
Excellent. So you mentioned youth shelters. Mm-hmm. What does that mean?
Youth shelter is a facility. It provides temporary shelter and safe haven to children who are at risk, who have been either kicked out of their homes, who come from neglectful homes, who may have problems with ungovernability at school and at home, and we house them in our shelters. Their stays can be anywhere up to 21 days, if not more, and it is a place for them to get their basic needs met. They can come in and take showers. They can get clothing. They may also be provided with food. At the very basic, that's what we provide, and then we move on into other services where we might provide emotional and mental health counseling, beyond that. So those are some of the things that we offer. There's also opportunities for normalcy, where the children who are there may actually go out on field trips and be able to engage the community, in ways that may be enriching for them. Opportunities that don't exist for them normally at home, we try to provide that for them.
Yeah, people don't really realize how many at-risk kids are just here in Polk County, in the Tri-County area, Polk Highland and Hardy. How many foster kids are out there, how many kids that just need stability and need adults who care, and an example of that they may not have ever seen. And you mentioned that you might refer them for mental health services, which I know is also a huge problem here in Polk County.
Right, absolutely. And it's also not only mental health counseling, but there's issues of substance abuse. Some of their parents have issues with substance abuse. It may also affect them, and they may be not making the best choices, out there in the community with the peers that they associate with. So those are things that we have to address too, in the shelter as well.
Excellent. So talk to me a little bit about the outreach program.
Yes, well, I'm the outreach specialist at the George Harris Youth Shelter, and my job is to go out, educate the community about, our shelter, whether they can help us through like donations or volunteer services, give tickets to kids. They do cook for kids, But my aspect, well, other than just educating, I go out and look for homeless and runaway youth. Around Polk County, well, I do 3 counties: Polk, Highlands, and Hardy. And I preferably, I'm sorry, I'm with the Basic Center grant, which is a grant that's from the feds, where they want me to focus on the Lakeland area. And I've been having a very hard time finding like homeless youth. I done talked to different homeless liaison officers. They told me most of the youth reside in vacant houses, in abandoned houses, which has been real hard. You know, they don't want you to go in them houses for safety reasons. But whether anybody see or have heard of a homeless youth, please contact us. I'll be more than happy to help them, provide them some type of housing. Like she said, the George Harris Shelter itself is a 24-bed facility, 12 beds for girls, 12 beds for males. And, you know, we provide food, we take them to school through the McKinney-Vento Act. Also, like she said, we provide different type of counseling that they may need, whether it's individual or family counseling. We can take them to outings. Like during the spring break, I set up a whole bunch of outings to like colleges, like the colleges around here, like Warner and Weber and Polk State, so they could have like a little bit of, like get them a plan of what to do when they get out of here or when they get out of high school, whether it's a trade school or going to the Army, some type of stuff like that.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, and as you said, it's a need for often these kids are scared and they're terrified and they don't know, they're so young and they don't know that there's resources out there that can help them, or they're scared, they've been hurt by adults or they've been hurt by people and they may not be able to reach out. So yeah, if somebody knows of somebody, that's a great thing that you guys are doing so that we can say, hey, there's this kid that needs help, I've tried to help, or whatever, or hey, I'm helping him, but you guys can actually provide additional resources. So that's really great what you're doing. Where is that where typically your referrals come from, is through outreach, or do you?
Yes, most of the referrals are through outreach. Sometimes I get calls during the day from families, mostly women, saying like they have no place to go with their children, and most times they don't want to break up their families. I can't blame them, so I give them referrals to other shelters around here about places they could go, and also say, if you have to, your child could come here for any help.
Right, because the moms may care more about, having their kid have a safe place to sleep than they might be staying in their car and they were like, I need my kid to have a bed. So.
Alternatively, also, with some children who are ungovernable, parents sometimes don't know where to turn to, and we offer respite for children to give mom a break. Sometimes mom has 2 jobs. She's busy trying to raise a family of 3. One child is just non-cooperative and keeps running away. Well, we want to let the public know that we are here to assist, to help a family that may be in need, that may need a break. So I urge anybody who may know of someone in a similar situation, definitely reach out to us at the George Harris Youth Shelter. Contact us. We have myriad partners, in the community. Polk County Sheriff's Office, is phenomenal, as well as the school district. They really work with us to get us in touch with those families and children that are in need of services.
Right.
So we're thankful about that, and want to let the public know that we are here to help. But we also want to let the public know that we also could use their support in many ways too.
Which is exactly what I was about to ask you.
Yes.
You guys are doing amazing things, and people might be listening and saying, I want to get in on that. I want to help with that. So what ways can people help?
We do different donations, fundraisers. We have with our number. You can always call us saying that you want to provide stuff for us. We'd be more than happy. Whether, like I said, like tickets to games, to the movies, just little, whether it's like hygiene products, just anything counts.
Yeah, especially what Joseph has said. Any opportunities to provide normalcy for the children, because they come from homes that may be broken. They may come from homes that are neglectful. They don't have opportunities to go to the theater.
Right.
You know, to go to a live theater would be fabulous. To go to a ball game, right, you know, to go to a concert, you know, to sit in and listen to a philharmonic. These things are so crucial to their development, and it inspires these kids. And so those are wonderful supportive opportunities that you know, the public could certainly help us, you know, as well as funding for food. There's always need for that, for clothing, for hygiene products like Joseph mentions, and there's also a need as well for community leaders to come on board, to serve on our advisory board. We definitely can help, you know, the board facilitate the needs of the shelter. If we have members of the community, you know, pitch in, want to help and volunteer. We certainly need those voices and those advocates, those ambassadors from Polk County, if you will, to help us, you know, with our mission, you know.
Absolutely.
And so
it takes a team. I mean, it takes a community to help these kids, and it's good for them because then they see the people rallying around them, and they can understand that adults aren't terrifying, and there are good ones in the world. So, I mean, and did we mention what ages the shelter serves?
The ages of that we serve are age 10 through 17. How
do people find more about your program?
Well, they certainly can be redirected to our website. We have a website, www.yfainc.org. We have a Facebook page, Youth and Family Alternatives. We promote a lot of our events via our social media. In fact, we had an event here at Bartow High School. Angela, or Angie Austin, the vice principal, sits on our advisory board. She actually hosted an event between the Bartow Police Department and the Bartow Fire Department, and they played against each other. The fire department won. The police department were gracious about it, and the funds were used to raise monies for the shelter, and that community involvement is just wonderful. You know, our again, you know, that is the team, you know, the whole community working together. And as I said, Facebook are ways, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, or our YouTube channel, you know, we invite others to definitely, you know, see what we are about. And we certainly want to share this with our young audience, who is our, you know, demographic. They are most likely to be found on social media, whether it's Instagram or Snapchat. So we try to deliver our messages to them to let them know, listen, we, you know, we'll meet you on your terms. You know, we'll come to you, to your turf. You're not, you know, in danger of, you know, being, you know, pulled apart from anything that is going to be a detriment, you know, to you. You know, in fact, it's going to, you know,
we're here to help.
We're here to help. You know, to encourage you, and that's what we want. You know, the future lies within our children, our youth, and we need to advocate for them. And our community will see, I guess, the fruition, you know, the results of that when, you know, these kids find the healing that they need at the shelter.
Exactly. When they become an asset to society around them and be able to influence the next generation, say, hey, I got this help. They were amazing. They got me back on my feet. And now look at me. I'm a doctor. I'm an astronaut. I'm, you know, I'm a very successful mechanic, whatever it is. You're setting them up for success.
We've had a few success stories in the past about, you know, kids going off doing great things, and we're very proud of what they have accomplished.
Do you have a favorite one?
Oh, you know, I can't really share with you, but all of it is just great. Whether they, like you said, becoming a mechanic, taking up other trades, and becoming a nurse, it's just great stories that you hear.
Well, to that I could add that we do have one success story, and it's one individual who serves in our community. She was actually a runaway herself. Fast forward, 15 years later, she's a mom, of teenage kids who are thriving and, graduating from high school, and she is a force to reckon with because she is very involved in community engagement and gives back, to the shelter. So there are success stories. It's wonderful to see that the work that we do, has definitely, helped. Absolutely.
It helps. And even if you help one person, it's worth it.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys for all you're doing, and
Thanks
thank
so
you for
much.
coming out and talking to me today and
Thank you,
teaching me
Tina.
a new organization.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. Thank you again.
Youth and Family Alternatives, Inc. is a private, not-for-profit agency of over 500 operating 3 short-term shelter programs for youth between the ages of 10 through 17, one of those being the George W. Harris Jr. Runaway and Youth Crisis Shelter located in Bartow. They are open to youth who are runaway or homeless, or youth in need of a short-term, out-of-home respite placement for any reason. We also accept youth who are in need of an emergency shelter placement due to abuse and/or neglect, and for youth in foster care who have experienced a disruption in their foster placement. There is no fee for program services. The program serves as a short-term placement for youth in crisis. For more information about Youth and Family Alternatives, Inc., you can give them a call at 863-595-0220 or look them up on the web at www.yfainc.org.